Hey everybody, welcome, and I'm just so excited to talk to you and talk to fellow Moodle enthusiasts. I represent a small company called Speeches. It's a 3-person team based out of Seattle, and the reason we started this project was because the original author of this software is from Hong Kong, and he had a lot of difficulty, speaking English properly. But he lives in Seattle, so it was a major challenge for him, and so he developed a tool for himself, so that which he can use to practice his speaking skills. And then we realized that, oh, there must be several others who would need this tool. And so we decided to formalize it. And since you know that Moodle is a fairly popular learning management system worldwide, millions of users worldwide, so we thought that Moodle would be a great target to embed this tool in, so that it spreads out to all needy students worldwide. So without further ado, let me just start with my presentation. Um, if you have been an English teacher or a student, you may have come across this problem that speaking a new language or speaking English is fairly hard to pick up as a second language. And the main reason for this is that students, while they are learning their first language, they develop solid ingrained speech patterns, which are very difficult to overcome when they are learning a new language. And the other thing is that we as human beings are unable to hear our own pronunciation mistakes. So even though we may feel that we are speaking something correctly, but it is often the case that we are not. And I'm sure that my own speech is full of accent and pronunciation errors. So the first option for a student is to enroll in a language learning class in a conventional classroom setting. This option usually works out pretty well, but it has two problems. One is that it requires in-person attendance, so you have to go and attend the class, and if you are a busy professional, it becomes harder. And I think there is strong evidence regarding this problem because of the pervasiveness of e-learning that we are seeing everywhere. And the second thing is that instructors are not always available. They can be available during classroom time, maybe a little bit afterwards, but no, after class, it's hard to kind of get a hold of them and help them and get some help from them on your pronunciation. And as you may know, every student has their own speaking or pronunciation difficulties. For example, Asian students often have a problem differentiating between the R sound and the L sound. So if you have a diverse class, it becomes pretty hard for an instructor to provide one-on-one training to each and every student. So the second option is to use some type of speech recognition system program. You must have seen several of these in the market. You must have seen Rosetta Stone has something, Duolingo has something. However, the problem with these systems is that they only provide binary right or wrong style feedback. So they use general purpose speech recognition systems, which can tell you whether you spoke something right or wrong. But it is a major problem when you are wrong, because the student cannot determine what is the part that they are not speaking correctly, or in other words, why are they wrong. And the other problem is that these systems tend to be accent agnostic. So because they are trained to recognize, to compensate for deficiencies in a user's pronunciation, they often compensate for poor pronunciation. And even if you are saying something wrong, they will say, yes, you are speaking it right. And these two issues actually make them less effective for students to practice pronunciation. And keeping these deficiencies in mind, we developed a brand new type of speech recognition system that provides syllable and phoneme level feedback on a user's audio. And the benefits of this system are that it provides this rich visual feedback. As you can see, instead of just saying binary yes, no, it actually provides, it breaks down your audio into fundamental syllables and phonemes, and then tells you how well you did on those syllables and phonemes. And it also gives you an overall grade, which measures how closely your pronunciation matches a native English speaker's pronunciation, or somebody who's a native speaker, how close do you get to their pronunciation? So these are the differences. Instead of having a binary feedback, we actually provide fine-grained, granular, you know, quantitative feedback, which is visual, and people can use this to improve their pronunciation. So another aspect of this is that it pinpoints your pronunciation mistakes. So you can visually see, in this case, the user was supposed to say cheap, but instead they said sip. So the system will tell that your CH sounds like an S, and EY sounds, instead of E, it sounds like E. So there's a difference, and you are making a mistake over here. So the advantages of this approach is that it pinpoints mistakes visually, speeds up the learning process because the student is not focused on trying to listen to their mistakes, but they can actually visually see their mistakes. And this is very useful for students who are hard of hearing. So if a student cannot hear properly, but at least if they can see these are the parts of my pronunciation that are not good, then they can work on it, and at least they understand where the problems lie. Okay. So the speech's core technology is fairly powerful artificial neural network. This is the most latest state of the art in speech recognition technology. It is language agnostic. Although right now we only do general American English recognition, but we are actively working on a UK English version as well, and a Spanish version as well. And we are just starting out, so we will be looking for some feedback from the community on what other types of languages we should support. And it is a cloud-based service, so there are several advantages to it, that it can be accessed in the browser, on your laptop, on your cell phone, wherever you want. And during the demo, I will show you some of these things. Now, how do we plug it into Moodle? So you have your Moodle server over here. We have a new speeches question type. So you will be able to create quizzes just as you can do it with regular quizzes. You can use it as a question type in a regular quiz. The advantage of this approach is that you can mix and match. So for example, the first question can be a true and false exercise, but the next question can be a speech recognition exercise, and the next question can be a listening exercise or something else. And the speech recognition system itself is not part of the plugin. It actually uses an API that we host on our servers in the cloud. This has several advantages because if there are problems with the speech recognition system, we can fix them in one place instead of having people download and upgrade their plugin again and again. Also, it allows us to spread out our servers worldwide, so that helps control some latency problems. So it is not the case that person in Japan experiences higher latency in their pronunciation evaluation than a person perhaps in the United States. So it's a question type, and it is backed by our speech recognition API, which is a web API. And here are some of the features of our question type. So it automatically grades, and so this is a question that is developed using a question type. And not to worry about it, I will show it to you in a minute. And then it does several things. One is that it automatically records and grades student speech. It allows you to upload your own custom pronunciation material, which is suitable for your class. A lot of teachers that we work with, they tell us that standardized programs are good, but they lock them down to a certain content. But because we are a part of Moodle, we have this fantastic capability to create any type of custom pronunciation material we want. Now, we also allow you to generate reference audio, which students can listen before they practice speaking. So this is very helpful because you don't have to spend hours trying to generate the right reference audio. In the demo, I will show you that just by a mere click of the button, it generates your reference audio. Now, because it is Moodle, we also are able to show student performance in standard Moodle teacher interface, which works out really great because teachers can provide feedback to students by reviewing their performance on a question type. We also work with any LTI consumer. So even if you maybe you don't use Moodle, but if you use Canvas, we can connect to will connect you to a Moodle server, and you can access this technology. And we have made every attempt to make it available for all the popular Moodle versions, ranging from 2.7 to 3.2. And we hope to, continue supporting new Moodle versions as they come out. And last but not the least, the question type is fully compatible with every web browser and every mobile device. We have built-in support for Flash and also HTML5. So no matter which browser you use, it will always work. And the other fantastic thing is that no app is required for Android. And for Android users can directly access this question type via their mobile phone. And for people who are interested in iPhone support, we do provide an app which we can customize for your Moodle server, and you can use it. Okay. Now it's time for the exciting part, which is the demo. So let me share my screen with you. One moment, and let me also switch the audio. Okay, one moment. So can someone confirm that they can see my screen? Dom? Anybody? If anybody can just type and say, yo, okay, great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Got it. Okay. All right, so if you want to play with the system, it is really easy. You just go into the iMoot course, and I added a LTI link over here. This link over here, speech-based demo for iMoot17, and just click on that link, and then click on the open tool, and it will take you to the sample pronunciation training quizzes that I have developed. One of the very popular ones is to train hospitality employees. So let me show you what this quiz contains. So this quiz contains the very question that we were seeing. It contains a collection of questions. Let me just show you a couple of them. The first one is, let me give you a map. So if you click on this green button, it will play the audio for you. Just listen. And now you can practice saying it yourself. So you can say, let me map. So when you do that, let's listen to the student audio now. So as you see, I left out give you a map. So it colors the words that I said correctly in green, and the words that I skipped or I didn't say correctly, it will color them in red, and it will give me an aggregate score that I got 64%. It doesn't sound very good. I can try again. And then it also gives you a message saying that you can tap or click the red colored words to see how to improve. And this is a fantastic feature because if you click on this, you can actually see the parts that you got right. And you can also just play that part. So if I click over here, it will only play let. So just hear it. And then if I click over here, it will just play me. And then if I click over here, then it'll say that, I have some missing sounds, So this kind of helps students understand what they did wrong. So now let me say it correctly. So if I say, let me give you a map. And now everything is working great. So it's full and I got 99%. In general, if a student is able to get 80%, we give them a full score. But if they score less than 80%, then we ask them to repeat again. Now this is a quiz, so it has a couple of questions related to the hospitality industry. You can also add some translations if you want for your locale. But this window is just like the Moodle question type window, so you can configure anything you want. And then naturally you can finish the attempt. So once you finish the attempt, um, So it will mark the ones that you did correctly with green, and the ones that you did not do well, they will all be marked red, and you can scroll through them and take a look at them. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, because this is Moodle, so you can see, you can see other students' attempts also. So you can go and review, and this one is done by Kevin. So you can see Kevin's, so you can listen to Kevin's audio, and you can also, because you're reviewing, I'm not a teacher on this, but you can also give them a manual grade or a manual feedback of some type. So this is for hospitality training, but we have similar, content for more academic English. So if you click over here, you can see this is more about minimal pairs. So you have chicks. So you say chicks, and then you get them to say checks, checks. Okay. So this is so you can do minimal pair exercises. You can do sentences, word groups. You can also do entire paragraphs. So let's take a look at paragraph. So this is, so now the student can say, Feng Shui, meaning wind and water in Chinese, is an ancient form of geomancy, or the art of aligning things in the environment to create harmony and good luck. And then we just click and we wait a little bit. Okay, so it's evaluated. I got 94%, and I can listen to each and every word in this sentence and see. So it looks like it didn't like my environment very much. So my V sounded a little bit like a L, and the N, M, and AH were a little bit silent, or they just didn't sound right. So you can try again, but because I did well over here, I'm going to pass this one. So this is the student part, what students can do with it. Now it's time to see what teachers can do with this tool. And before I go there, I'll just take a look and see if there are any questions. Yeah. Uh, Get the right. Yeah. So this is right now, the one of the questions is that what target accent are you going for? So right now we have US English, but we are actively working on a UK or British English version also, and we should have it shortly within this month or next month. Thank you for the very impressive comment, Dot. And let me go back and show you what teachers can do with this tool. So this is a demo course, and let me show you how teachers can work with it. So this is a quiz. You go inside the quiz and you add a new question. So you go and select the speech ace question, and then you add it. And now let's give this question a name. So let's say test 21, and uh, type the text. So let's say we say, let me have a drink. Um, so now you have two options. Either you can record your own reference audio, or you can use speeches audio. If you would like to use speeches audio, then all you have to do is click on this button, and you click this button, and our system automatically generates a reference audio. So here's the reference audio. So this is saying, let me have a drink, please. Okay. And then if you want, you can write some instructions over here. Read aloud the sentence. And then you scroll all the way down and say save changes. And now the sentence is right here. So I'm going to save this and go back into the into the quiz. So we go here and we say preview quiz. So now you see it automatically shows up with the text that you wrote, which was read aloud the sentence. And now you can listen to the sentence It's a little bit fast, but we can slow it down. Now you can repeat, let me drink. So it'll say, I missed have a please, but I got let me drink right. So again, I can see, review my mistakes and hear just those portions, which is very, very cool and very interesting. Now I can say it right. Let me have a drink, please. Okay, this time we got it. So let me finish this attempt and submit all and finish. All right, so now this was, as I was mentioning earlier, this is how teachers can create any type of content, whichever domain they would like to, they are working in. I want to give you just one brief demo as well. So let me edit this quiz one more time, and let me show you how easy it is to switch from your audio from speeches audio to your audio. So you just click on this button and you record your audio, and you can say something funny, like, hey, try saying this sentence and let's see if you can make it. And then just stop and then press save changes. So now what's going to happen is when you go into this question type, you will hear your audio, the one that you recorded as reference audio. So here it is. Okay, so now you can say, let me have a drink, please. And you can kind of repeat what we saw earlier. So this is the editing functionality. And so far, you have to do it one sentence at a time, but we are also looking at doing some bulk upload functionality. We are planning on adding some bulk upload functionality so that you don't have to type things one by one. You don't have to create questions one by one. But love to hear some more feedback from you folks and tell me what else you would like to see. Okay, so let me go back to the presentation again and catch up from there. So let me pause the screen share. And okay, let me expand the presentation. All right, so that was our demo. And so where is Speeches in use? Speeches is currently used by nearly 5,000 students every month. And the results are phenomenal. The students, nearly 80% of the students say they experience improvement in their pronunciation, particularly students in Asia and Europe found it very, very helpful, particularly in regions, where expert English teachers are not pervasive. So it is very useful to have a tool like this so that students can practice on their own. And so training and assessment for academic proficiency is something really big that people have adopted it for. Various universities have adopted it for to do their, level 4, 5, 6 English classes. Another place where we have found some pretty significant adoption is training hospitality workers for improved engagement with customers. So as of now, we work with a few hotels in Vietnam who use this system to train their hotel employees so that they can converse with the customers and provide customers a better experience. And finally, but not the least, we found some very interested foreign pilots who are supposed to meet their English proficiency requirements in order to fly airplanes internationally. And they like to use the system to just prepare for that exam. So that has also been very, very useful. Speeches has been quite useful to them in those settings as well. Okay, how can you help us? We would really appreciate if you would give our plugin a shot. I already added an LTI link over here, and you can also go to our website and sign up and try out the plugin. We are a paid plugin, but because you guys are nice and you attended the conference, I'm happy to just give it to you so that we can let you use it, play with it, and give us some feedback. We would love it if you could give us some suggestions for new features and perhaps help us prioritize which languages we should go after first. As of now, the priority looks like English, Spanish, French, and German. But perhaps there are other things that we have missed, and we would love to hear your feedback on that. And then if you have some interesting content ideas, we would love to hear from you. And right now, as I mentioned, we target general academic English, some English for hospitality workers, some English for aviation workers. But we would love to hear other ideas that you may have, and we can help you develop content around it if it's helpful to your students. Okay, and lastly, uh, I added the links here in the presentation, so you can go and play with it. It is available right there in the course page, and I would love it if some of you could just fill out our feedback form. It's just 10 questions. It is also available over here in the course page itself. So let me just share my screen once more and just show it to you where you might find it. Just one moment. Just one moment. So the feedback link is right here. Would love it if some of you could just leave some feedback for me as a presenter or just on the tool, and if you have some thoughts on what else we could do with the tool. So with that, I come to the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening, and happy to open time for questions. Okay, there's a, let me just go through them one by one. There's a question by Janice. Can I use it with Poodle? You don't need to use, we actually developed our own recorder. So you don't need to install Poodle with this. Um, the thing is that, but Poodle and this can coexist side by side, so there is no issue at all. This is completely different from Poodle. It doesn't use Poodle, so it has its own recorder. Okay, the next question. Thank you again for the appreciation, folks. Really appreciate it. Next question. It would be nice to allow students to use the content of courses in general. English as second language, as they could paste content. They are having trouble reading into. I see, I see. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you want students to, and this is question is by Trish. Trish would like students to enter their own content. Yes, absolutely. I think that is fairly simple to implement. I will add that to our feature list for sure. Do you always need to provide example speech yourself, or do you have base content available in example British English? No, you don't need to provide any speech. We can provide you the reference audio automatically. So this answer is for Miranda, and let me show you once more how we did that. So if we go into the course, and if you go here and let me see, and you try to edit the quiz, and you add a question, add a new question, and you pick speech ace, and then now you can type any text over here. So hello, how are you? And as soon as you click on this blue button, it will generate the reference audio. It will generate the reference audio for you automatically. So you don't have to provide any speech at all. And we can provide British accent as well if that is something desirable. Right now it is American, but we can provide British accent as well. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Can you choose male or female? Question by Dot, can you choose male or female? Not today, but do you think that is important, that is critical? Let me know if you think that is critical. We'll be happy to add that. We haven't added that today. Okay, any other questions? Um, okay, so yeah, go ahead. Maximum length of recording right now is 1 minute. So you can record up to 1 minute, which is fairly large. And you can speak a medium-sized paragraph with it. And can students export the recorded audio? That will be, Let me think. Not today. Not today. I mean, it is stored in the Moodle server itself, so we could add some button to do that, but not today. All the audio is recorded in Moodle itself, so they don't have to download anything. You as a teacher can just go in and review. Um, it is all stored in the Moodle itself, so you don't have to get them to download anything. All you have to do is just go and you can listen to their audio. It is rendered very quickly in this session, so that is from Janice. Is it always so quick? In general, yes. If you but naturally it does require some it does require some some internet connectivity. So if you have poor internet connectivity, then it will be slower. But as of now, I have tested it in nearly every continent, ranging from Australia, Korea, Europe, everywhere, and it's been fine so far. But in case if it's slow, then we can always deploy a server close by to your geography and fix the problem. Okay, next question from thank you Trish for the appreciation. Next question from Paula. Having the choice of male and female can be helpful to students who have hearing difficulties. I see. I see. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. All right. We will add that. I will take that as a feedback and definitely we can add that. Not a problem. And remember that you can always upload your own audio if you see something lacking. Uh, okay, thank you, Nick. I work with weather forecasters who talk to airline pilots, and we have been trying to think of a way to assess this communication skill. Oh, cool, cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, aviation is actually a pretty big deal, and we have one learning institution called Camus Learning that use the system for training aviation employees. Question from Dot, can you upload audio file rather than record your voice? Yes, of course. Um, you see let me show you once more. Let me just show you this interface. So this question text field, you see, this question text field is your regular Moodle question text field, and you can upload any video audio file you like. So if you don't like our audio, you can always upload your special audio that you prefer, for sure. Yes. Fantastic questions, folks. Love it. Really love the engagement. So heartening to see a few people interested in it. Oh, by the way, while we are on the call, let me show you one other thing. So this works on mobile, on Android without requiring any app or anything. So this is the Android app. Let's say I go into the 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 quiz, and so this is time. So I can try and say time. So it'll just work as is, no app required, no app required at all. Yeah. Um, you have, yes, there is a cost for the speech recognition plugin. If you like, we can host it for you, although we are not primarily Moodle hosters in any way. We just provide the speech recognition part. So if you have your own Moodle server, we'll just integrate the question type. In fact, it is super simple. You can do it yourself. It's just a question type. You can either do it from the standard Moodle interface, or you can just copy it into the Moodle question type directory, and it'll just work. All you need is just a key from our side. So we are a young company, so we are paid. I know this community is more open source, but we are a paid plugin, so there is some cost, but we try to keep it minimal so everybody can use it while we can at least maintain it. Yeah, Dot, excited to see. Just reach out if you wanna get this for your site, just reach out to me. And like I said, it is already there in the course page, so you can always just use the LTI link. Yeah, the cost is available on this site. Let me just share it with you. So it is available over here. You can just send this link to your manager, and you can see we do have a tiered system, but cost is secondary. It's not such a big deal. Just tell us if you would like to use it, and we can always work out something for you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the response. I had a question. What other languages would you folks like to see? Any other? What languages people like to see for their students? Is anybody using anything other than English? And if yes, then what are you using? Spanish, Indonesian, and Chinese. I see. Interesting. Very interesting. And do you folks need mobile support? How many of you consider mobile support as fairly important? Okay. Yes to mobile. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. So we are on the right track over there. Because a lot of students, they like to practice on their cell phone and iPad and whatnot, and it becomes a burden if it's only browser only. But this is something that I'm very proud of, that we work very hard to ensure that it works across all browsers and all platforms. So certainly this was a big victory for us, and I'm happy to just let you try it and see if it works for you. Okay, Maori language will be great. I wonder if we can find enough audio samples for that one. That one looks like a tough one, but I will investigate. Kevin, thank you for the feedback. Okay, teachers going to the communities will appreciate. Yes, yes, I see. Okay, okay. The point of that. Um, what else, folks? Um, Anything else that you can think of? I know some people like to see conversations. So instead of students having to repeat sentences, people would like to have some blind exercises where they cannot read the sentence, but they can only listen to it. So it's kind of a combination of listening and speaking. So that is something definitely on our radar already. So we'll get that going. And then some people have also expressed the ability to have conversation, so that is also something that is under consideration to how to enable that in Moodle itself. Yeah, please reach out to me directly if you want. This is my email address, um, and you also have just the Moodle at speeches.com address as well. You can email us, and we usually are very quick to reply. So we love to hear from some of you and take the conversations forward. Thank you. Yep, thanks. Um, yeah, you are all most welcome, and thank you for being so wonderfully engaged. Love it. Thank you for sparing your time. Yeah. Inflection. Okay. So yeah, we do have it. We do have stress detection and intonation detection also. The one issue with that is that intonation inflection is not something that can be programmed. So it is something that somebody has to say how should the sentence be done. So that means that you have to record your own audio way more than relying on our automatic reference audio generation. So that is the only hurdle to scale that, because inflection just varies quite a bit. So yes, the more sophisticated users will want inflection, but and reduction as well. So we also have reduction, so you can do things like gotcha, getcha, and to as students advance. But in my experience, what I have seen so far is that yeah, absolutely. So for small chunk of factories, absolutely. But in my experience, what I noticed was that the students who need it the most, they're just struggling with just simple sentences and simple words, and some of the inflection they pick up from the quality of the reference audio also, because inflection seems to be more of an induced skill. So let's say if you hear a clown saying something funny, then all of everybody starts saying, try to mimic the clown. So some of the inflection kind of gets covered by the reference audio, by the quality of the reference audio. So far it has not been a very big issue, but yes, certainly the more sophisticated teachers definitely ask for it, and we do have it. Yeah, most welcome.
All right, Abhishek, I'd just like to take this opportunity on behalf of the iMoot team to thank you very much for the presentation. It was a great presentation, actually. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Great to see new products being introduced to Moodle, especially as a question type. And so, yep, I'll stop the recording for now, but just thank you very much. And should anyone have any more details, please refer to, you can come back and watch this recorded session again. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all, and have a great rest of the day or night wherever in the world